camera weirdos? It's another Monday for another episode of Shit on My Table. Today we're going to look at my German vehicle box number 1. These are mostly kind of like unarmed vehicles, mostly trucks and cars and stuff like that. So let's check it out. All right, guys. So here is what's in box number 1 right there. All that shit fits in there. Okay, so this is going to be a really mix of stuff. You guys might get a kick out of all this stuff. I've got a couple minis here. That's a Victory Force, and this is one of my What the miniatures. So these run more 32 mil. So they're a little bit bigger than like Warlords. They're probably the same size of Artisan stuff. So Artisan would just imagine these are Artisans. Okay, so let's see what we got. Let's start with these first. So we got a couple. What are these R75s? I think they're. These are 1/48 scale. They're not die cast, but they're pre-made. They're plastic. I can't remember who made these. I can't read it. My eyes are shot to shit, guys. Let me see if I can read it. Let me put my glasses on, see if I can read that. But yeah, so these come. Yeah, R75. I don't know who make these. I want to say, shit, I can't remember who made these. But they roll. They're like toys. They're almost like die cast, but they're just not die cast. They're plastic. But yeah, they size really well with look at that. That size is really good for minis. And you can there's a machine gun mounting there. There's just a machine gun on it. So you pick up a couple of these. I just left them the color they are. I don't know. That works good enough, I guess. I should probably repaint them. That's kind of a weird color. Looks like maybe a North Africa color. But yeah, so that's sized. Size is really good. And then over here, we just got some staff cars. Now, these are die-cast toys. These are NM. I think that's New Millennia toys. These are Mercedes-Benz 170V. Victory. These are Victory die-cast
Victoria,
toys.
actually. Idiot.
Yeah, these are really cool. So I think these are 150s.
Actually, 143.
150 scale. In my opinion, 148 and 150. So 143 to 150 are the scales that you want in models and in like die-cast toys and stuff like that. These are, I want to say these are 143s scales right here. Okay, so they're a little bit bigger because if you go true If these were to be like Warlords made up 156 scale, they would be fucking micro. It's really small. And they just, I don't know, you want some beef, and because these are wargaming pieces. These aren't necessarily representation model pieces, display model pieces. But yeah, the wheels move and stuff. I just repainted them. These are the paint jobs they came with, this gray with this like green kind of camo on it. Pretty sweet. Then we got ourselves a little bug, a little Volkswagen Beetle. This is another Victory. I painted this up. I put on some tactical markers for the post office. So this is a post office vehicle. So kind of cool. And it sizes well with, and again, this is like a die-cast toy right there. And then we got some Kubel wagons, KFZ 1s. I believe these are Victories too. Yeah, Victory. Yeah, these are all Victory. Now this one's different. I'm not sure what this is a Hogwell Toys, whatever that is. So that came like that. It's kind of, I don't know about these these side doors. I don't believe the Kubel wagons had like a dedicated window frame. But anyway, who cares? It's still cool. And I believe these are 143s as well. I believe that's the scale for both of these, for all three of these. So, again, sizes really well with the 32 mils, larger. So now, if you're playing like true 28s or something like this, these things are going to be really big. Okay. So, and again, I like to get my vehicles a little bit bigger, like especially conveyances and like motorcycles and stuff, because if so, they look really small on the battlefield. You just want a little heft to them. Then we got some Schwimmer wagons. Again, these are 143s. I repaint them for my recon troops. These are Victory as well. Or I shouldn't say Victory, they're Victoria. Victoria. I think that's what that says. But yeah, these are great. Again, size really, really well. And here we got a staff car. Let's see what this is. This is a Solido. So this is probably 150 scale right here. Solidos usually run 150. So they're a little bit smaller than what they would normally be compared to these minis, but that still works. I think that fits really well. I used to have some field marshal flags on here, but of course, being a war gamer, those things don't fucking detail like that gets snapped off pretty quick. Now this is an Opel Blitz it's got a flak in it, a flak 20. I believe this is Solido's too. Yeah. Let me see what those are real quick. They're either Solido or Victory again. They might be Sunstar. There was a company called Sunstar. Yeah, this is Sun. Yeah, this is a Sunstar. I don't know what the difference is. Probably just some Solido knockoff. But this is painted. It's painted up as a flak gun, flak wagon. I put some like a range finder and stuff. Those are 148 scale, like bits and pieces. So that's kind of cool. You got a mobile flak wagon. And then we got, okay, so these are here. These are 148 scale Italia, whatever the fuck they call model kits. And that 231 right there, or the 234-1 with a 20. That 20 millimeter gun, that turret there is a 148 scale conversion kit. I painted a couple crew guys in there. Their heads are in there underneath the grenade mesh. And then we got a couple Pumas here. My favorite camo is that ambush camo. But these are model kits. So you guys have seen some of these pictures, some of these vehicles, and some of the videos and pictures that I've taken. But yeah, so 148 is my preferred scale. Let me put a mini up to it. Yeah, see, those fit great. Those fit like really, really good. So there you go. So over here, we've got some more 148 Italia, whatever. These are fuel trucks. Now, these are 148, so they're a little bit smaller than these. Well, they're pretty close to these transport trucks. So, but they work really well too. I'll stick that medic in front of it. See, look at that. That fits really well. I do some airfield games, and I got to have my fuel trucks. So there's the fuel trucks, and here's just like a little. This is a Solido trailer. I don't know what it came from. I might have just picked that up from something, but you gotta have a trailer. Now all of these are, I believe, Sunstar or Solido, or Victoria, Sunstar, or Solido. Okay, so these are 150s. So one's painted up, obviously, is snow, and then we got a couple ones here. One has the canvas cover, one has the canvas, rolled up, exposing the back. Now this one here, I left the top off, so I sometimes I like to play games where you got to rescue like POWs, and you change out the tops here. It wasn't uncommon for POWs to write, this usually happened on train cars. They would write POW on the train car. Hopefully that this fucking thunderbolts and typhoons would come by and see not to strafe that car. So anyway, so I have one I painted That says POW on it, like they just whitewashed it on there. So in a game, if there's a convoy, those are where the prisoners are, supposedly. Sometimes, maybe the Germans, because they're sneaky fuckers, they that's where the Ark is instead of prisoners or something like that. So, all right, guys. All right, guys. So, how to get these things. Now, again, I've been gaming for a long time, so over the years, I've been able to acquire this stuff. You can get, I'll be honest with you, a lot of this stuff you're never going to find. The 150 scale trucks are hard to find, and if you do, they're really pricey. Over the years, there have been a few companies that get a hold of the molds and they release them, and they're really cheap. I think I bought most of these vehicles. I didn't pay more than $20 a pop, but that's when that was back in the day. But you can still find these diecast things out there. I know that gray, like this gray Kuba wagon, I know that's out there. I think they're only like $10, $15 or something like that. So that's pretty good for a pre-painted, pre-made, diecast as a hold up in the gaming. So you can find this stuff, but go to eBay. eBay was my preferred place to find most of this stuff. But go to eBay, look up 150 scale, truck, German truck, or whatever. You go through lots of civilian stuff you got to kind of go through, but you might find some treasures there. Victoria is a name that you can plug in. Solito, Sunstar. I think there was there was another 148 scale toy. 21st Century Toys was great. I think in the early 2000s, they came out with a bunch of 148 scale toys, like German armor and Jeeps and stuff. And they were beautiful, and they were cheap as hell. You can look those up. I think most of that stuff is really sought after by gamers. So it might be hard pressed to find it, but you can find them. Now these Talaria model kits, they're just, those are the same kits that have been floating around from, Testers and Tagliari and various other companies into certain scales. If it's the same mold, I believe they might be the same mold being used for Warlords. The Warlords have sized it down to 156, so they're basically the same kits. But yep. So plug in 150, 143. 143 is going to be mostly like your cars and like motorcycles. You'll find a lot of motorcycles and cars at that scale. 150 is usually trucks, lots of trucks, and sometimes you'll see cars in that scale. But again, if you can find 1940s civilian German stuff or American stuff, you can always just paint that stuff into military colors, and it doesn't take much to do. But yep, so that is just box 1 of 4 of all my German vehicles. So let's see what we got next week. I'm sure to come back and check it out, and whatever you do, keep it weird. See ya.